It's gonna be good, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be better, I can't wait. Making my move, live for the day, sing like a bird, fly like a plane. Come spin with me, Jenny D. Jenny D. Jenny D.
Hello, my beautiful people. It's me, Jenny D. Thank you so much for joining me with another episode. I'm so excited. It's September. Reset. I mean, it's fall. We really, sometimes as women, we're so rushing getting the kids ready for school, you're getting ourselves ready for work, or just, if you're a teacher, anything that you're doing in life, sometimes we forget me time. So I really wanted to concentrate this month on recharge, refresh, realign, embrace the new season with a lot of energy, balance, and a little well-deserved me time. I'm saying this now, but I should be doing it for myself.
We'll get you on track.
I know. I have the perfect guest here today. This is Tanya. Tanya Chaney is not just a massage therapist. The things that she's doing, well, we met each other probably, it had been like 2 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
About 2 years ago. And I was like, she's just got such a great spirit about her. And I was like, I need to know her. And what she was telling me about massage, I was like, oh, okay, massage therapist. But I'm like, no. This woman's got a story, what she's doing to help other people, not just women. And I'm just so excited to have you here.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank
you.
So
introduce yourself, your title and everything like that.
Yeah, so my name is Tanya Chaney, of course. I've been a massage therapist for 25 years, moving into some newer forms of work, somatic healing guide work. So that's helping people to release the things that they store in their body, the trauma, the emotions that get locked up. They can cause physical ailment, physical pain, disability, disease, right? So just helping people to find a new way to heal and release.
I love that. Now, bring us back a little bit.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, was there a certain kind of field you were in? Like, did you go to school for anything? Was there something you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I started off at the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I thought I was going to be a pediatrician. Pitt's class structure did not work for me. So I ended up taking a pivot, and I thought I would go into physical therapy because I took an interest more in the physical rehabilitation.
Right.
Way back then, we won't talk about how many years ago that was.
Way back in my day,
to be a PT, you only needed a bachelor's degree.
Oh, yeah. Now you probably don't.
Now it's a doctorate. So I'm, a year or so into Pitt, and now you need a master's degree. Also, I was broke. I needed a job. I was working part-time. I took a full-time job at this little tiny school called the Academy for Myofascial Trigger Point Therapy.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Right. Nobody has. But I'm a proud graduate of their program. So I interviewed at that school because I needed a job.
Right.
I was underqualified in every way, shape, and form, but they hired me anyway. They saw potential. So I took on that job, and I was going to school full-time, working there full-time, and still cleaning houses on the weekend because I was a broke college student.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened was I was watching and observing what was happening in the classroom. There was a guy who was a teacher in the class. His name was Dan. He was a physical therapist, but he did not practice as a physical therapist.
Oh.
So I found that very interesting, and he knew my path for physical therapy school, and they had just changed it to a master's degree, and I'm stressed out, like, oh my gosh, more money, more time. It's going to take me more to get to the career that I want. And healthcare was changing, and now guys in white shirts behind desks were telling people what they could do, the healthcare providers what they could do based on insurance, and I kind of lost my interest and passion.
Right.
And Dan said to me,
it became a business.
Yeah,
you want to help people.
You lose the passion, or you lose the ability to help people in the way that you know that you can help them.
That is true.
And this is still the case in healthcare.
Right.
Because you're constrained within the things that you're allowed to do in your practice. So what Dan said to me was, why don't you come to Trigger Point School, learn myofascial trigger point therapy, and if you still have an interest in physical therapy beyond that, do that after this. Use this to support that.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me just get my bachelor's degree and pause on Pitt for now.
Yes.
So I got my bachelor's degree. I graduated from the Academy for Myofascial Trigger Point Therapy. Nobody knows what that is. But I became nationally certified and I started practicing. And what I learned was nobody knew what myofascial trigger point therapy was.
That's such a long word.
It is. And it's such a very cool, specialized form of body work. Yes. And way back 25 years ago.
Nobody's talking
about the numbers. But way back then, nobody knew what it was. Yes. So I had to kind of like dumb it down a bit. So I went and I got some basic massage training because it was not licensed in the state yet. So I was just doing my best due diligence to be trained.
Right.
So I learned some massage techniques and then I started doing massage therapy, except I was really doing trigger point work.
Right. It was called that.
It was really called myofascial trigger point therapy, but I was doing a couple massage strokes. So it seemed like I was doing massage.
She's so high tech.
Yeah. So I was doing these great massages and people were like, you're getting rid of my pain. This is amazing. What kind of massage are you doing? And I'm like,
oh my God. She said that one more time, I'm doing a shot.
I know, right? Do we have shots?
Yeah. Bring a shot.
But so what I learned was you have to meet people where they are because everybody knew what massage was, but nobody knew what this specialized form was. So I started doing massage and I was getting great results because I was doing specialized work under a basic title. And I continued to grow a practice and I worked in a couple different clinics and worked for UPMC and some chiropractors. And I really kind of fine-tuned my base. And then I opened a practice and then I opened some more practices and then I built those practices and I eventually sold all of my practices except for the original. I sold them off to my staff.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I grew it and then backed away.
I can't believe it. Now, this is something I didn't even know. Yeah. So you had all these other practices and you had people working for you and then you were just like, okay, you take this because you didn't want to manage.
It became a lot.
I was going to say, was it a lot of management?
Yeah. So people management is the hardest part of my job still, people management.
Yeah.
Right. So I was building this career and these practices and running staff. And then I got pregnant and I was still, just getting through it because we got to check the boxes. We're trying to do it all.
Check the box.
Check the boxes. So I was doing it all. And then I had a beautiful little boy and he was a little more needy than I expected. Excuse me. And
okay, it's podcasting.
So I needed to be with him a lot because he nursed and he would not drink from a bottle.
Yeah, I know. I had 3 of them like that.
Trying to raise a baby.
Right.
So I had to make a decision.
I'm sorry, going back to that, I think about too with me as well. I went back to work. I was in television and I was in the conference room pumping.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this isn't working.
This isn't working.
I think my supervisors were kind of like, Jen, like, are you going to do some calls today? I was working in sales and I was like, my mind is thinking about, I know every time I need to feed the baby. So we have to give up our careers sometimes.
And adapt them, right?
Yes.
So I didn't give up my career, but I certainly changed the trajectory. I realized that I was doing too many things in too many places and I really had to bring it back to home base.
Right.
Yeah. And my home base office was great because it was a big enough space and I had amazing support from my mother-in-law and I would bring my little one to work with me and she would sit with him during the day and I would nurse between clients and
so we
had it worked.
It was a system. You have to have a system.
Oh, thank God for the system. Yeah.
Right.
And thankfully and I do truly say I was blessed to have that support. Right. So I was able to keep both things going. I don't know that I was doing any of it super great, but it was all happening. Everybody was the flow was working.
Places, everybody, places. I feel like
lights, camera, action.
Right,
everybody go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it worked out and I feel like my clients became part of my family at that point because they would come in early to sit with Max or they would stay after to sit with him. It just and my staff became part of my family because everybody became a part of Max's rearing, his growing up, right?
So it
really created a cool ecosystem, if you will.
It takes a village.
It
takes a village
and then some more people.
And then some more people, and that's and that's how I feel like everybody's path is different, but there are some similarities with a lot of like the moms and some of them have to give up their career. I say have to, which really sounds horrible to say.
But sometimes they do have
to.
What are the other
they don't
options?
have a choice, right?
And childcare is so expensive.
I could not do daycare. I was like, there's just no way I'm not spending and I really didn't have anybody to watch my kids. But I always had that in the back of my head, like, oh, what if I could do both, and try to multitask because we would do as we do. We try to we juggle. We're like, okay, we can do this. We can do that.
Throw one more thing in. It's fine. I've got this.
So as your son got older, and
Yeah.
did you start working more and more? Or?
Oh yeah, of course. Kindergarten, daycare, not daycare, preschool and
Preschool.
summer camps. Those were all very helpful. And then kindergarten happened, and I was heartbroken. And then I was like, no, wait a minute, this is
Yeah,
okay. This is the next
yeah.
chapter for everybody,
Right.
right? He gets to move into education. I get a little bit of my own life back. I got to
Right.
run my practice a little more thoroughly. I was more present. I was more focused.
Yes.
So it was, while sad, I feel like all chapters are necessary.
It's true.
It's a transition.
I talk about that all the time about your book's not written. It's still the chapters are still like unwritten. Don't think your story's already done.
It's not done.
Yeah. And I just okay, so go on, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just so wonderful. People, you don't understand how wonderful she is. But so tell us, so after he's growing up and you're still doing it, were you fulfilled? Like, were you happy with what you were doing?
I feel like massage has always brought me a large amount of joy, and it's a blessing. I feel like I fell into the right career. I absolutely love what I do, and I don't wake up in the morning and say, oh my God, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
I wake up and say, I get
to go to work. Yes.
I enjoy my clients. I enjoy my staff. I enjoy the environment that I've established. Back in 2010, I moved to a much bigger space, and I had this vision. I'm a visionary, so I will conjure up dreams in 5 minutes and make them happen in like 2 hours.
Okay, girl, right? Look at you.
So I had this dream that I have this massage practice, but what's if it could be more? What's if we did hair and nails? What's if we were a full service salon and spa? Well, this is great, right? Except I'm qualified to do none of those things, and I'm not going to school to do it because I love doing massage.
Right.
So I moved into a bigger space. I decided to grow the practice. So I started adding, I added nail services. Okay. And I was like, okay, we're doing nails. Look at us. We're super cool. We were doing like natural nail care. We weren't doing any acrylics or any of the smelly stuff. Yeah. So it was a great fit to my practice. And then the space next to mine opened up. The tenant left. And I was like, oh, I could double my space. Hold on. So I called the landlord and I said, hey, what's going on with the space next door? He said, it's for rent. I said, great, I'll take it. He said, you're moving? I said, no, I'm going to take that too. So then I doubled my square footage. I was about 4,000 square feet at my peak.
Wow.
And I added a full hair salon, facials, nails, the whole bit.
You did it. You did your dream, your vision.
In 2017, I doubled my practice.
Wow.
And that was amazing. And I loved it.
You should be very proud of yourself. That's a lot to take on.
Thank you.
And having a son too.
and we bought a new property at the time too.
Oh,
so it was a lot of things all happening at one time, right? Yes. And then, as you were saying, our chapters continue to go, and we don't know what all of our chapters are until we get there. Sometimes. Our roads. So, there came a point in 2022 where some things happened, and I realized what I thought was my purpose was not necessarily my purpose, right? So there were some pain points,
right? That what did you say before we went on?
Pain creates the purpose.
Yes, pain creates a purpose. I love that. I'm going to write that
down. So I hit some pain points in 2022, and I started to bring it back to the bare bones. What brings me joy? I'm done doing the things that don't bring me joy. So as I started to look around, because I'm a multitasker beyond multitasking, I started to let go of the things that were not serving me. Because up until that point, Jenny, we as women are raised to check the boxes. Mm-hmm, okay? Mm-hmm. So from an early age, you're to grow up and get a boyfriend and get engaged and married and a baby and maybe an education and a house and a car and maybe a bigger house and maybe a bigger car and maybe more kids, and you have to manage all of it.
Calgon.
Yeah, Calgon for sure. So, that's the way we're raised. We were raised. I feel like we're raising our children differently.
Yes, but I feel like we're still growing up though. Like as women, like we found that, our lives are not complete. We think about like a grandmother. My grandmother just did the same thing. She was stay at home, and that's what she did. She took care of the kids, and that was great for her, and that was great back then. Yeah. But it has changed so much in the pressure that we put on ourselves, and especially as women, we got to be this, we got to be that, we got to be all these different hats.
We're filling everybody else's prophecy of what we should be.
Right, and we are kind of like, I was saying this before, like we're on the outskirts kind of watching in, and we're like, okay, as long as you're happy and you're happy and you're happy. Oh, wait a second. Am I happy?
But what happens when we stop and say, I've checked all the boxes and this is it? This is everything that I was supposed to do and I'm not happy here.
Right.
Right? And we're growing up now because we didn't grow up.
No.
We did everybody else's work.
We did.
So
we became like in like an instant.
We were the movie director.
Yes.
We've been the movie directors.
We were doing the whole movie. If you think about it, we were directing it, we were choreographing it, we were acting it.
Costumes, sound, meals, green room. We're like the whole thing. And everybody has a great life. Right. And then you're like, oh, but I'm not getting an award for being the producer.
No, you're not getting the satisfaction of not feeling that, who are you making happy and who's patting you on the back at the end of the day? Who's telling you, you did a good job?
It's your girlfriends.
Yeah,
right. It's your girlfriends. Because we're all in the same boat.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So,
so you checked all your boxes.
I checked all the boxes. And so to coming to the pain points, I started looking at the boxes. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I wasn't happy. Yeah. So you start to think, and I think around that same time with the pain points, I decided to intentionally start to unravel childhood trauma. So I was seeing a therapist, and I realized I had some issues and some things that were holding me back. So
Isn't it eye-opening to realize that you talk to a complete stranger and you tell them a little bit about your upbringing or a little bit about what you've been through, and they see it right away.
Oh, well, they're trained, girl.
Thank goodness. But it's like it took us to this time.
And sometimes they just go, well, blah, blah, blah. And you're like,
oh my gosh, she's so right.
She just unraveled 10 years.
She knows me so well.
Sentence, right? So I really feel like talk therapy is, if you're not going to get massage therapy, get talk therapy.
Yeah, right.
And get both. Exactly.
Get both.
I really feel like as I started working through them, the pain points came, and I decided I needed to find my purpose, right? Yes. I loved being a mom. I loved a lot of things about my life, but there were some things that weren't working. So I started to look around, and one of the biggest things that happened that was public was I was running this huge salon and spa, and that spa was not bringing me joy. The salon, the hair, skin, and nails.
Stress.
So much stress, so many people, so many staff, so many clients, so much products, so many pieces, everything's moving and shifting, and I was like, this is just bringing me a lot of anxiety. And because I'm not trained in that field, it was extra stressful for me. Right. So I identified a staff person who I had hired during one of my most painful points, and we laugh about it. I almost didn't hire her. And we laugh about it now. Oh, she is like the little sister I never wanted and the daughter that I didn't know I needed.
I love that.
So she is, Kaylee, she is just a gem, but she showed promise. And I was watching her, and I said, what's if I give you more responsibility? And she goes, oh my gosh, I'd love to be the manager. And I was like, right, let's start with that. You be the manager.
Yes,
let's see how that goes.
Yes.
So, a month or so goes on, and I'm like, she can do this. And she loves doing it. And I don't love doing it. I love the people. I love what I've created, but I don't love managing it anymore. Yeah. So she was doing my nails, and we're talking because, girl time, the me time situation.
Oh yeah, me time.
And I said to her, what do you think about owning this place?
Oh.
Yeah. She cried. She literally cried. And then I cried because it was that's what we both wanted and needed in our life.
And you just, sometimes if you don't talk about it, you don't know what somebody else is thinking or what they're wanting. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine today at lunch. She was in her head about something, and I'm like, why don't you just ask? Yeah. Instead of us thinking, oh no, I don't know, should I? But look, she wanted to do it too.
Yeah, you just have to put it out there. The universe does not know what you want or need until you tell it.
Right.
Universe, I would love to be a millionaire.
Oh,
and I don't mind earning it.
Yes, right.
So from that point forward, that was actually 2 years ago in August. So she said, what's the game plan? And I was like, we're going to do this slowly, and we're going to do this intentionally, and it's going to be time released. So from August 2 years ago, we had the game plan to transfer ownership January 1st. So I sat with her, and we figured out all of her marketing and all of her business, and she got registered, and her sales, all the businessy parts, right? We had all of that lined up. We were ready to go. Yeah. Sometime in October, I think we announced it to the staff that there would be a transition of ownership. That went about how we expected it to. Yeah. 98% satisfaction and approval. Some staff were not happy, and I thought, well, those staff are going to make their way out because they don't belong here. Sometimes you hire the wrong people and you don't know how to get rid of them.
Right.
But in that transition, they left, which was great. And it was beautiful because I left her with this staff that she built. She built that staff under my supervision.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing interviews together, and she would say, I like him, I don't like him. Let's hire him, let's not. And I knew where I was
Collaboration.
headed. Yeah, and I knew where I was headed. So she literally built her own staff before she
love
even owned it. So by the time she took over, it was already the story that she wanted.
Right.
And we call each other like sister salons. Yeah. So the massage and all the wellness stuff is on my side, and all the hair, skin, nails, crazy, noisy stuff is on her side. And it's calm and serene here and noisy and messy over there.
Did you have a wall up, or did you have
the wall was already there?
Okay.
So
when I was I'm picturing, like, since you opened up that, expanded, I thought, you broke down that wall.
No, we left the wall. The wall was beautiful because when you walk in, we have a foyer situation. So glass door, and then there's a glass door on either side.
Yeah.
So all the massage and stuff is on this side of the wall, and all of the hair, skin, and nails is on this side. There's we call it the back alley. It's the back hallway.
Yeah, right.
That crosses over between our spaces. So we can go over and use their kitchen. They come over and use our laundry room. It's all very friendly. We all know each other. It's a family.
I love that.
It's a family.
You knew in your heart, like, this isn't my passion. You had to stay in your lane. I always say stay in your lane.
Sometimes you go in the other lane and you're like, no, this is okay. And then you're like, no, this is not the right lane.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, I know for me, like, the business side of it, that's not my forte. I cannot, I can't do it. Like, I want to focus on my guests and what I'm putting out there and helping people and just having these conversations. Like, I want to focus on that.
Well, and you're so good at it.
Oh my God.
You're
I'm a
so
good
good at it.
You know what I became? I feel like I became a good listener.
Yeah.
And don't you, even in your field, like, think about it.
So
You're
much.
kind of not just a massage therapist. You are a therapist.
Absolutely.
I always say hair salons, massage, any like that. Those people are good listeners because they're there to help you too through stuff. You probably know so much about some of your clients.
If my walls could talk. I've heard things and I'm like, I can't unhear that. And what do I do with this information? I don't do anything. I hold it, right? I'm a vault. I know more things that I should never. It's a lot. I know a lot of things.
The woman who gives me massages, I haven't seen her in a long time, but yeah, she's we always catch up and, hey, what's going on with you? How's your love life? Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I get to, well, and here's the other thing. I just did some interviews at Douglas Education. They have a massage program, and they always call me over for mock interviews. So I get to work with these students that are just coming out of the program. So, I think I was talking to one of the fellows, one of the guys who were graduating from the program, and I said, think about what massage therapy truly is.
Right.
For someone to come into your practice, and let's say they've not met you on the street.
Right.
Or maybe they have met you, right? Because networking, right? You'll meet somebody and then you'll come in for a service. But let's say perhaps you have not met on the street and they're coming in blind for a service. Not only is this person chosen to come into your practice, they've chosen to come in, they've chosen to get a massage service. You lead them typically down a hallway, into a dark room.
Right.
You ask them what's bothering them. So the vulnerable.
Right.
Now you ask them to disrobe while you leave the room.
Yeah, I didn't even think about all this.
Vulnerable. Please lay down on a table and cover yourself up. Vulnerable.
Yeah. And now I'm going to touch you.
Now I'm going to walk back in. You can't quite see me because you're laying on a table. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to touch you. Vulnerable.
Right. So
for someone to trust in a massage therapist is a huge, huge deal. And I don't.
That is so true.
I don't take that for granted.
That is so true, Tanya. I didn't even think about this, but there's been times where I did feel uncomfortable, and because I didn't mesh with the person,
and that happens, right?
Yeah.
So in my practice, I have different therapists, and I have clients who will come through, and if they're a new client, I will usually suggest they try multiple therapists. That way, they're comfortable with different people in the practice, or maybe they'll find their favorite, and we all do a different style or technique or flavor, So some therapists and some clients don't mesh. There are some clients that come into my practice that don't prefer me as their therapist.
Right.
And the first time that happened, I thought, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, like,
this is my practice. And then I was like, no, this is great.
Yeah.
Because they're not your vibe attracts your tribe, right?
Right.
Right. So they're not my vibe. And that's okay. We're all different people. I'm not everybody's flavor.
Right. And you want your staff to have, other clients too, because you do find, like, a lot of people will go into an office, like, for instance, say a chiropractor. Well, everybody wants to see the chiropractor, not the other people. They want to see the main, person.
And that still happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Actually, a lot.
Right. Yeah. So you're thriving. You're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so what is going on with this trauma informed somatic guide?
Yeah. So around 2022, around the pain points bringing purpose and releasing the things that no longer brought me joy and going through a healing process. It's really a journey and it takes some time. I started to learn about somatic work and I thought this plays beautifully into what I'm already doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I went on some deep dives to figure out which form of somatic body work would be best for me, right? I actually went on a solo trip to Australia for 2 weeks. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh my God.
I went to Australia for 2 weeks to learn a somatic technique called spinal flow.
Spinal flow. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, so spinal flow is this technique where we look at the spine. There are 7 gateways in the spine.
Yeah.
And trauma gets locked up in different gateways based on what the trauma might be. So physical, chemical, emotional trauma. So there's a lot of traumas that can happen. Like chemical trauma can be from your environment, the drugs you take, the clothing that you wear, anything.
Really?
So many things. Yes.
Oh my God.
The skincare, the products you put on your skin, the things on this table that we're absorbing through our skin, environmental toxins, that's all chemical trauma load. Sometimes it affects us and sometimes it does not.
I didn't even think about that.
Electromagnetic force. All of the electromagnetic. There's a lot. Yeah. So our bodies hold on to all of these different things and it affects people in different ways. So physical, chemical, emotional trauma. With spinal flow, we access the nervous system, central nervous system, right? The brain. So the brain, for some people, doesn't always talk to the body, right? Think about being in your head, literally in your head. You don't even know what's happening to your body. You have this container that holds your organs and your muscles, and this head is just pushing you through space. And you're just it's a checking the boxes to bring that back, right? When you're in your head, you're checking the boxes. You're doing what everybody else wants you to do, right? So when you get embodied in your body, you're feeling your body. This is when you start becoming who you're supposed to become.
Ooh.
So you're unbecoming all that stuff that you were told to be.
Unbecoming. I love when you said unbecoming. Okay.
So you're unbecoming those things. And when you get embodied in your body, you start to become your true self. That happens when you start to release the junk, the trauma that you've got locked up in your body. So spinal flow is a way to release some of those traumas. Now, that's just one tool in a very vast and large toolbox.
Right.
There are some self-care somatic techniques. I'm getting more into the educational content on somatic work and workshops and classes and master classes and retreats even. Think about, so this is one of my big visions, right? Go with me on this story.
Okay, I'm going.
Okay,
I'm on this journey right now.
Tell me where you want to go on your retreat. We'll build it around you.
Oh.
Tell me anywhere in the world.
Well, let's just go to Aruba. It's not
just
that
Aruba.
far.
Okay, we'll go to Aruba. So one of my goals is to plan these immersive retreats. So we're going to go to Aruba. It'll probably be 5 to 7 days, right? You can come before and after and hang out, enjoy the locals. But on this retreat, you show up and you want to disconnect. You want to leave all the things.
Get rid of your phone?
If you can. I can never fully get rid of mine. But leave it in your room during the day.
Right.
Check in at lunch, check in at dinner time before you go to bed. Really focus on you. Get in your body, embodied, right? So we start to look at and feel where our trauma is. And here's the beautiful thing about somatic work. You don't have to name it. You don't have to say, well, when I was 5, this one thing happened to me. And you don't have to do that. You just feel in your body where the trauma is.
Right.
And then you release it. There's a lot of techniques. We won't get into all of that right now. But you go through these different workshops through the day, and some of it's movement, and some of it's thought, and some of it might be an exercise, and some of it might be walking in nature. It's all very curated.
Therapeutic. I mean, and everybody's, kind of calmness is probably different, huh?
Absolutely. And then the group it's probably mostly going to be women, unless I do a targeted co-ed. But when you're in this group and everybody's healing and releasing at the same time, the results amplify. So now you're all helping each other to heal.
Oh my God.
And it's immersive. So you're living, eating, drinking, sleeping this experience for 5 to 7 days. And the most important part of this retreat is the reintegration. So the last day before you leave, because here's what we do. We go on these trips and we we learn all of these great things, but how do you integrate that back into your real life?
Right.
You've learned these techniques. Now how do you take that back to your
Okay, that
family
was
and make
good.
it
Yeah,
make sense?
that was 5 days. Now
That was
I'm back
great.
to
Right. So the last day is integration, reintegration. So integrating the things that you've learned into your body, and then having tools, tips, and techniques to go home and reintegrate into your society, your environment, your family,
Yes.
so that you don't lose all the work you've done. Because
Right.
how many times have you done the work and then you're like, okay, well, back to work.
I know.
Yeah.
That to me is, even like I did yoga this morning, and for me, yoga really just clears my mind.
It's
off
a form of
everything.
somatic.
But it's only an hour, and I feel like as soon as it's over, I'm like, oh my God, here I go.
Because you don't reintegrate.
Charge the the day, and just kind of, I got to do this. I have a whole list. I got to do,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we just, that little hour recharge sometimes is just not enough.
Well, it's wonderful, and you have to do that. That's that realign, and that's keeping yourself me time, right? We have to do that. We have to keep our own cup full. I'm sure you've heard that story,
Yes.
keeping your cup full. So the yoga and that helps. But what's if you could actually live that? Like take that feeling and put it through your whole life. Interweave it everywhere so that you have moments. Like, what's if we were just here, like right now on this podcast, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna get centered and just.
I'm gonna lay on this table, and Tanya's gonna give me a massage.
We'll keep your clothes on.
I'm sort of like, no. Like your voice too is so soothing. So I'm sure your clients are just like, oh my gosh, they probably really embrace. So did you already start this trauma?
I have on some level. As I was learning, I am a spinal flow practitioner. Yes, so I've done that. But as I learn more and more somatic techniques, it's funny because so much of this work, I'm already kind of doing it, and I have been doing it in my massage practice.
Right.
Because over the years of doing this work, you just learn and you grow, and the more you learn, the more you do, and then you experiment a little bit on this client, and you're like, oh, well, look what's happening. This is really cool.
Yeah.
You get to see different results because you're not just working on the physical body of massage, right? You're starting to tie in the energetics and the spirituality and the trauma release and the nervous system. It's just, it gets to be really cool. And some days,
like heaven, really.
Yeah, I mean, some days are grueling, and I, go through a very day of physical massages. But sometimes you just get a client, and you're like, that was a good session. And when my client has a really good release or a really good session, I'm like it's satisfactory for me. Like I feel like I've had a really good day.
Such a fulfillment, right? When you do something, whatever job you do, but when you do a job and you see a client, patient, customer, whatever, with joy, of feeling so embraced in their body and feeling so much better when they leave instead of the way they felt when they walked in the door.
Yeah. So when clients walk up from the back when they're getting ready to leave, I always say, "Oh, how are you feeling?" I love some of the responses I get are just pure magic, right? Yes. They're like, a lot better than when I came in, or oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do without you. You're the best part of my week. All
that's the best thing.
Right, it's here.
Yes.
Right, it hits you, and then you're like, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah, it is. It's such a satisfaction. Now I'm like, all right, I need to be the guinea pig. I need to go in and release all my my toxins.
Maybe we should do one, like a demo.
We should do a demo, and then we can actually show you guys.
And we'll do a follow-up podcast or something.
Yes.
Oh, we're building castles here. We're building castles in the sky.
See what happens when you put two women together.
We're just making more work for ourselves, but this is beautiful work. This is beautiful work.
Right.
This is
we're
good
getting
stuff.
a lot out of it, both of us. Yeah. I mean, and that's what you do. Like what you're delivering and what you're explaining to the audience. You're telling them things that, oh yeah, they just go to a therapist. Boom, boom, boom. You're out of there. You pay them. Blah blah.
You can.
Right, but yours is an experience.
I try.
It's spiritual. It's not just physical. You're coming out of there feeling so like you release so many of your toxins and, like you said, the whole chemical. And I mean, we don't even think about, like you said, the things that we touch during the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
truly.
So you've been now. If somebody is listening or viewing and they're like, oh, wait a minute, I want to see Tanya.
Yeah. So there's where it gets a little bit sticky. Okay. I'm easy to find, but I don't necessarily take new clients often because I'm getting close to retiring out of massage therapy and moving more into the somatic work.
Okay.
So I have a full staff trained in massage therapy, all different techniques, all different flavors. Like, they all do something a little different and they bring different energy to the table.
Yes.
Literally to the table. But to find out more about what I do, just finding me on Linktree/Tanya Chaney,
Okay.
because I do massage therapy, of course. I'm offering classes and workshops, and eventually I am doing a retreat in November. I'm doing a collaborative retreat in November with one of our friends.
Okay.
So we're going to be working. It's a very focused divorce recovery
Yes.
retreat.
Yes.
So, of course, divorce brings a lot of things to the table that need healing, right? So that workshop will be very focused for the weekend about how to come out of the trauma, identifying what the trauma is. Sometimes we don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Finding the trauma, releasing the trauma, how to rewrite your story and
Rewrite your story.
Rewriting
Getting
your
the
story.
roots of
Yeah.
like what exactly went wrong, or maybe it wasn't that it went wrong. Maybe it's just like people grow apart and you don't even realize that we're different.
Not all divorces are a failure.
Right.
Some of them should
You
be
learn.
celebrated because you're being honest with yourself and your partner. But it just doesn't work. You're not the same people, and that you've accomplished great things together. You can look at your life and say, this is pretty good.
Right.
But what's if we could do better?
Exactly.
Separate.
And you're evolving. Sometimes you're evolving into something different.
Absolutely.
That person in my 20s is not the same person who I am now.
We shouldn't be.
No, I don't know if I recognize that person.
Yeah, I look back at photos and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's not a bad, like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? What was I thinking? But it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've come a few chapters ahead.
Yeah, right.
I'm in a better place now.
I'm moving and grooving now. And I think that's what we do. That's what we celebrate. As women, men, I mean, whatever, you have to celebrate you and know that where you came from, where you are, and how you are helping other people. Like, that's my whole purpose, shining a light on people that are really helping other people, because we don't give ourselves enough credit. I mean, you have your business cards, you go into a place, people, you tell people, but they don't know your story. They don't know where you came from, why you do what you do, and to see the passion that you have, Tanya, like that, to me, like, you're in the right profession. You really are. You're really helping.
I came here by accident. No.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything else that I would enjoy near as much.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else you would like to tell the listeners or viewers? Tell them your website, because I know you did Linktree. What is your website?
So my website is cheneysnatural.com.
Okay.
So you can book massages through that website. And also tanyachaney.com, which is where you'll find more of the somatic. It's kind of like a chapter off of the business, but a different subset, but it's still all Chaney's Natural.
I love that.
Yeah. So I heard a quote back in the fall of 2022, right, when all of the things were happening. And it was this beautiful quote, and it's timely for September. And it was like something along the lines of, fall really shows us how important it is to release, because the leaves change and they fall away for regrowth in the spring. You're
right.
Yeah.
So we need to release, and we need to
winter is for healing. So we're coming into our release season. As humans, even think about your energetic level. We're coming into our release season where we're releasing. And then the wintering is for healing.
I love
And then
that.
we come new again in the spring.
It is so new. Rebirth.
Rebirth in the spring, yeah.
I just so enjoyed this conversation. I mean, it's so close to my heart. We've been wanting to do this for so long. And you fit perfectly in September with doing this reset for the fall reset. And I just, I'm just loving what you're doing and all the new things that you're like learning and teaching other people and really helping so many people.
My passion.
It's your passion. And that's what you want in life. You want to do what makes you happy. So if you're listening out there and you've heard Tanya's story and you went to school for something and you realize, oh my God,
pivot.
I don't like this. You can change.
Yeah, pivot.
Yeah, your story is not written for, like, your chapter is not over.
Yeah.
Change what you're doing and become your true self.
True self.
True self. I love that. High five.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for being on Spill with me, Jenny D. Take care.
Thank you.
Come spill with me. Come spill with me. Come spill with me.